Our next award recipient serves as chairman of the House Veterans Committee on Veterans Affairs. He is also a strong supporter of the Defense Department and Global War on Terror. He was the chief architect, along with Senator Bernie Sanders, of the Veterans Access, Choice, and Accountability Act of 2014. Ladies and gentlemen, it is my pleasure to present the 2014 Legion Patriot Award to Representative Jeff Miller. Please give him a big hand.
The award reads, the American Legion Patriot Award presented to Representative Jeff Miller for your leadership and bipartisanship as the chairman of the U.S. House of Representatives Veterans Affairs Committee. Your commitment to a strong national defense and your support of a constitutional amendment to protect the U.S. flag from desecration have earned you the appreciation and respect of many military veterans and their families. By calling for greater accountability, transparency, and accessibility throughout the Veterans Health Administration during a time that VA faces unprecedented challenges, you are providing needed oversight and attention to make it a system truly worth saving. As a senior member of the House Armed Services Committee, you have proven to be a strong advocate for the men and women in uniform and have developed a well-earned reputation as a leading proponent of naval aviation and special operations. Guided by peace through strength philosophy, you always remembered that caring for veterans is a cost of war. On behalf of the 2.4 million members of the American Legion, thank you for your strong support of America's veterans. Presented this 27th day of August, 2014 at the 96th National Convention. Signed Daniel M. Dellinger, National Commander, and Daniel S. Wheeler, National Adjutant.
Delegates, Congressman Jeff Miller.
Commander, thank you very much, and I appreciate the kind words and the recognition that you bestowed upon me here this morning. It's a pleasure to be with you. It's a pleasure to see my friends from Florida who are in the audience. As chairman of the House Committee on Veterans Affairs, it is our responsibility on the House side of the building to provide oversight to the Department of Veterans Affairs. To say the least, the department has not been as cooperative as they should have been, but I will tell you this. In conversations with the new secretary, I believe that the curtain has now been pulled back. Transparency will be a cornerstone, and accountability will be critical to saving the system that serves so many of you today, either through benefits or through health care. You know, despite the trouble that we have seen over the recent months and years, doing what we do in the House and in the Senate is the easy part, because we get an opportunity to serve you. You did the hard part. We get the easy part. And interestingly enough, you ask for very little, if anything. Just provide us what we have earned by wearing the uniform of this country. I take pride in doing what I do every day. And again, you, each of you, did the hard work. Now, I could stand up here today and talk about all the negative things that are going on at the department, and I plan on highlighting a few of those things, but let me tell you this. The vast majority of people that go to work at the Department of Veterans Affairs go to work every day to do the right thing for the right people. But because a few people decided to take upon themselves making secret lists, hiding wait times for their own personal benefit, we now know that veterans, in fact, did die because they were on waiting lists. We know that veterans were harmed because they were on waiting lists. And I will tell you today, that should never, ever happen again. I will tell you this also. Your organization, along with your commander, played a leading role in helping us to expose the problem that exists within the department. You leaned forward at a time when people did not want to step out, make comments, make recommendations, but that's exactly what needed to happen in order to bring the problem to the forefront. At the Department of Veterans Affairs, it has been easier for individuals that have caused harm to veterans to get bonuses and promotions than it has to get disciplined. Now, unfortunately, we had to pass a law that Senator Sanders and our conference committee and our committees worked on, but a law that says it's okay to fire people for not doing their job. It's okay to fire people for keeping veterans on waiting lists for your own personal gain. The only thing that will change the way the department has been doing business over the recent years is transparency and accountability. And at our request, we have worked with the Secretary, who I believe is an honorable man, a man who wants to do the right thing because he has walked in the same boots that you have walked in. He understands what it means to be a veteran of this country, but he also understands from being in business in the outside for 33 years that business as usual will no longer be the watchword. People have to be held accountable, and there has to be transparency at the Department of Veterans Affairs. What we have found over the past months since I have been chairman, the 112th and 113th Congress, is a lack of desire to work with the legislative branch. At every turn, we have been blocked in our attempt to get information. At every turn, we have been told that things are okay, that incidents are isolated, just as they told us about what was going on in Phoenix. And the bad thing about Phoenix is the very people who are at the very root of what has been going on are still on the payroll at the Department of Veterans Affairs. But I know that the Secretary is committed to making sure that those people that are responsible for past wrongs and future wrongs will be held accountable. But this cannot be solved by legislation alone. You cannot legislate ethics, and you cannot legislate good conduct. That has to be instilled into the workforce at the Department of Veterans Affairs, and I know that Secretary McDonald is committed to do that. So our legislation talked about accountability, it talked about transparency, and it also is going to open a conversation that everybody should be involved in. The media, the Congress, the veteran service organizations, and certainly the department employees that are out there working every day, over 330,000 of them, need to be a part of making this system better. Better because you deserve nothing but the best, because you earned the very benefits that in some instances you have to beg for. And so in this conversation, we are going to have a bottom to top and top to bottom review. And before your next convention, there will be a total review, certainly of the way health care is delivered to you and those who qualify for the benefits at the Department of Veterans Affairs. No more waiting times. You should be able to choose where you go to get your health care, and you should choose when you go, not just follow the direction of VA that tells you we can see you in 4 or 5 months from now, and you have to drive 4 hours in order to receive that care. And I know that that's something that each and every one of you has wanted for a long time. And so what we've done in our legislation that the President signed on the 7th of August is to give you, the veteran, the choice of staying in a system that in some ways does great health care work, and we all know that. Polytrauma, post-traumatic stress, prosthetics, traumatic brain injuries, things that nobody can do anything like the Department of Veterans Affairs. But for things like flu shots, for things like the common cold, for things like allergies, you shouldn't have to go to the VA if you should choose to go somewhere different. So for the next 3 years, a pilot program will allow you to choose where you go and when you go to see that health care provider. And so we will look over the next 9 or 10 months as to whether or not physicians at the Department of Veterans Affairs are seeing an adequate number of patients. There are those that say we don't have enough doctors. I'm here to tell you the doctors that we have aren't seeing enough patients. They will tell you that we don't have enough infrastructure. I will tell you that the infrastructure that we have is closed during the hours that you would want to use it the most. So we have to change the way VA has been delivering its benefits, changing the way it delivers health care into the 21st century, no longer doing it the way VA did it 50 years ago. So I'm here to tell you that I renew my commitment to work with the leadership of the Department of Veterans Affairs, hand in hand with you, trying to resolve the problems and trying to make the things that they do best better. Over the coming years, with accountability, transparency, and an open and honest dialogue, I believe that the Department of Veterans Affairs will continue to serve you in a way that you would want to be served. Honorably, in a timely fashion, and with health care second to none. Commander, thank you so much for the award this morning. It is a pleasure to be with you. I knew that I was in the right place when I came up and the driver turned into the NASCAR Hall of Fame. I knew that I was home, but certainly inside this hall this morning, I do know that I'm home. Thank you to the American Legion for what you do.
Congressman Miller, on behalf of the 2.4 million members of the American Legion, let me tell you, we will be there to assist you with whatever you need to ensure that our veterans get the best health care in a timely manner. Thank you very much.
Thank you.
God bless you.